Hey y'all, welcome back to another Teen Book Babble. I'm Hayley, and today I'm going to be talking about Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. This is a medieval romantic comedy with way more sword fighting than I expected. Gwen and Art Are Not in Love follows, you guessed it, Gwendolyn and Arthur. Except these aren't the Gwen and Arthur from the legendary King Arthur stories. It actually takes place a couple hundred years after King Arthur's reign. This Arthur is a descendant of the king, but he's not in line for the throne. Instead, he's betrothed to Gwen, the current princess of Camelot. The two have been betrothed since Gwen was born, and they essentially grew up together, with Arthur coming to visit Camelot throughout the years. Sounds like they should be pretty cute together, right? Wrong. Gwen and Arthur hate each other, genuinely cannot stand each other. Most of their childhood was spent bothering one another and pulling pranks. Arthur had his best friend Sydney on his side, while Gwen had her older brother Gabe to help. It got so bad that Arthur didn't visit Camelot for a few years. But now, against both of their wishes, it's time for them to get reacquainted before they get married. Gwen, however, is desperate to find something on Arthur to get her parents to call off the wedding. And she does discover a secret of Arthur's when she catches him making out with a boy. Arthur can't let it get out, so he literally digs up Gwen's diary from underneath a tree to find out a secret of hers. Turns out, Arthur likes boys and Gwen likes girls, specifically Bridget, the knight who's currently competing in the tournament Camelot is hosting. Now that they know each other's secret, they agree to play nice for the summer and pretend to get along. As the summer goes on, Gwen manages to get closer to Bridget while Arthur starts to fall for Gabe. And of course, Sydney can't be left out as he falls for Gwen's lady-in-waiting Agnes. Although this is a rom-com, there's still plenty of action. The tournament gets pretty intense, and there's seriously so much sword fighting, and people do get hurt. But don't worry, there's still a happy ending. There is so much to say about why I liked this book. Gwen and Arthur were both kind of annoying at times, but in an oddly lovable way. Their banter was hilarious, but Arthur and Sydney were the funniest pair. I genuinely loved all of the supporting characters and their dialogue. I also loved all the mentions and callbacks to Arthurian lore. Overall, I really enjoyed this book, and I hope you do too. Gwen and Art Are Not in Love can be found in print at Fountaindale or on Libby as an ebook.
Hello, Scions! I'm Alex, a teen services assistant at Fountaindale Public Library. I somehow, again, don't have another romance book to recommend to you, but somehow I also only have one that has only text. Here I'm talking about Unbeatable Squirrel Girl by Shannon Hale. Dorian Green is your normal teenager, moving from a new town with new people, new squirrels. She's got her hands full is what I have what this all comes down to. Full of school, full of nuts, town hooligans, and keeping her fluffy tail in her pants. Oh, you thought she was just gifted. Gifted. Well, she is, but not like that. Get your head out of the gutter. She's pretty much part squirrel, and this town is a nut that needs cracking. And she's the only one up to the task. All right, so that aside, this book's very cute. I really enjoyed this book. It does a lot with perspectives. There's three main characters that we often run through. We're either in the boots of our main character Doreen Green, or her pretty much sidekick, who is helping her with complicated stuff like tech, helps her with her homework. That's also a thing, and is all around Doreen's best friend. And I really like Anna Sophia. She's deaf, which also becomes very part of the story. It gets brought up a decent amount, and it's honestly very neat. You don't expect to see that kind of character in this sort of space, especially with someone who very much expresses themselves through their voice, because Dorian is really bombastic, very she can be a bit much. Even through text, you see that. You see her mind wander off and be very explosive, just like that of a squirrel, pretty much. And this thing often switches between Anna, Sophia, between Dorian, Anna Sophia, and a squirrel. So you actually get to see through the eyes of a squirrel, and he talks English in his head. And you start besides the stuff with the human part, you actually get darn near political discourse with animals, but it's them talking with other animals, having problems with dogs and stuff like that, and then in general talking about how their lives affect their daily lives. And it's all really cool. The main baddie of this is a person that just like is very they sound like an up and coming villain, and they actually do sound reasonably dangerous, because squirrels get caught in traps and they can get hurt. Dogs are being threatened. Like, the stakes here are pretty small in terms of an actual like Marvel movie, but she's like 12. Like, yeah, of course they are going to be. She's not Squirrel Girl yet. This is development. This is before she becomes actual Squirrel Girl, and you see that when she starts doing small crime fighting, saving babies, saving squirrels. It's all really, really cool. I love it. It also they also have small asides where they have numbers, and then at the bottom you hear Dorian Green, or you hear another person comment on a thing as if they're saying something in their head, which is really neat. I really would recommend this a lot. It's really funny too. So there's that. You can find The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl at Fountaindale Public Library in our digital collection on Libby.
Hi everyone, Randi here. Today I am going to be talking about Dungeons and Drama by Kristy Boyce. This is a 2024 release. It's sort of a rom-com, fake dating book. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So musical lover and aspiring theater director Riley borrows her mother's car so that she and her best friend can go see Waitress the musical. She gets in major trouble because she borrowed the car without permission, and she doesn't actually have a driver's license. So as punishment, Riley will have to spend the next 8 weeks working in her dad's gaming store, after school and on weekends. She gets more bad news at school when she finds out that the spring musical has been canceled due to lack of funds. So Riley is really beside herself. She was really looking forward to potentially student directing the spring musical. She also kind of has a strained relationship with her dad. No interest in board games or role-playing games, and doesn't really get along with coworker and classmate Nathan. They sort of hate each other. All that changes when they sort of end up fake dating to help Nathan land his crush and give Riley the opportunity to kind of save the musical. As time goes on, Riley starts enjoying herself at the store. She joins Nathan's D&D group, becomes part of that group of friends, and really starts enjoying herself and also liking Nathan more and more. So it's all up to fate. Will Riley be able to save the spring musical and maybe, just maybe, start dating Nathan for real? So I really liked this book, just because it's a fun read. All of the D&D and gaming fun and role-playing, and a great cast of characters in the game store itself. Riley ends up having a lot of fun. She picks her character for D&D. She decides she's going to be a bard. It's kind of natural. She loves musicals and music, and it's the perfect character for her, so she's going to become a human bard. And I think one of the things that I love is that as she's playing with this new group of friends, she actually like throws herself into the role and like busts out in song as she's playing with during their campaigns. I also really like the musical theater aspect, just because I was involved with that myself in high school. She's really passionate about show tunes and Broadway, and is really committed to helping her fellow musical theater students sort of succeed and get that spring musical back. I loved all of the side characters, Riley's best friend Toshiko, who is also big into musicals, and then the friends she makes at the store, Lucas and John, who are big into D&D, role-playing, and, just all-around good kids. I also liked that the whole, kind of, K-drama. I watch a lot of K-dramas, so this felt very, rom-com-ish as Nathan and Riley go from enemies to friends to potential love interests as they fake flirt throughout the book. So I highly recommend this book. It is available as an ebook on Libby and Boundless, formerly Access 360, and also as an e-audiobook on Libby. That's it. So if you want more recommendations, please visit our website at fountaindale.org/teenreads to view more book lists curated just for you. We'll see you next time.